Warning, this show contains adult language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for the people and planet, to liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life on your own terms. Today is episode 229, and it's Complete Lifestyle Redesign. Make more money. Make more money. Background noise is my F-350 truck. It's my mobile podcast studio, so please disregard the background noise. Excuse the background noise. Let's get into this. You need to make more money. I want to start this off with Henry Ford. Henry Ford was once asked, why don't you go get a degree so you can earn more money and diversify yourself? He says, why would I do something like that? I just employ like 10 people who have degrees to do the stuff for me. Think about that right there. There's actually, as far as making more money, I think a lot of people are getting a job. A lot of people say that you need to go to college, you need to go to school. And if there ever was a saying, unless I'm missing something right now, this guy's basically just saying, I'm not that educated, but I'm smart enough to hire educated people to do the shit for me where the education's needed, where you have to have a degree. I just thought there's like so many angles that you can look at this thing, but I really want to inspire you. I don't want to talk shit about public education or anything like that, other than a lot of these people, wealthy people, and these are entrepreneurs, of course, but I think this flows into all aspects of life, especially as the things we teach you today, how to make more money. Think about this philosophy here. You don't really need it. You just need to observe. So think about what Henry Ford, what his statement was as we go through. So very first one, no one wants to work right now. I've been keep saying this one, but guys, if you're in a job and you fucking hate it, you don't like it, and you're like, dude, my boss is a dick. I know there's chicks with dicks too. You're just really unhappy. There's plenty of opportunity right now. This is total opportunity. As permaculture says, one of the lessons in there, sometimes the problem is the solution. Most often, the problem is the solution. There are a lot of people out of work right now. There's, McDonald's, I think, is trying to give bonuses just to get people to show up, like a pre-bonus. So, man, if you're ready to go, and we're going to help you today. We're going to throw a little bit of some entrepreneur, business owner tips in here as well. But yeah, you guys need to make more money. The coming times, what we have right now, inflation has gone up. You guys need to make more money. There's a lot of reasons why, not just for survival, but your needs, your wants. So let's see what is the first thing that we can do here. We can move from being good at what we do to being great at what we do. I think this is a major problem for people who just want to get by. And people want to get by, our society basically in general. A lot of people, that's what they want to do. They just want to get by. I'm good enough, right? Being a business owner myself, when I find somebody who's great, I'm hiring that person. That person's very, very valuable to me. So I think that's fine if you want to just be good at what you do, and you know what I mean. All of us could honestly say right now, even me, I've been doing this construction business of mine for like 30 plus years. Am I great at it? Yeah, I think I'm really great. I can make tons of money. But can I further myself and be even greater? Yes, always. In fact, I kind of screwed up a little bit in the past couple years where I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't doing some of the things that I wanted to teach you guys here today. And things kind of slipped by me and I had to really catch up. So yeah, move from being good at what you do to being great. And there's a lot of ways to go from that. Some of them, let's start off with some simple stuff, is just like, do what's not expected. I was consulting and helping a person out, bartending, so we'll talk a lot about using the bartending model today as an example. And I told the person, I said, sweep the floors, do anything extra, check all the glasses, make sure that there's no spots on them. If they are, make sure you wipe or just put stuff aside, send it back to the dishwashers. Be very meticulous, go up and beyond, do things that you normally shouldn't do. And this person actually started complaining, saying, man, the toilets they're disgusting. Nobody wants to clean them. And I said, you should clean them yourself. And the person was like, are you kidding me? I'm a bartender. I said, who gives a shit? If it's slow, go in there and clean the toilets. Do all this stuff and do it mainly though. This is a time when you want people to see what you're doing. So let your boss see that the toilets were clean, or just say that, look, there's a problem here. We're not gonna get much customers with a foul bathroom like this, And Go out there and clean it yourself. Just say, well, don't worry about it. I cleaned it now, but I can't do everything. We need to find somebody to take care of this. That's going to put you in a category. It's going to put you in the eyes of the manager, the owners. Hopefully, the owners bypass the managers. Usually, the managers suck. Not all, but usually they do. That's going to put you in their eye. That's going to make you very valuable. So go up above and beyond what you're supposed to do, and look for anything extra. Bartending, you know. I really think that having a thin slice of lime and a red straw piercing through, say, a vodka tonic or something is way more attractive than just a clear glass of ice cubes and vodka tonic, right? Dress that thing up. For instance, for me, when I come in, I'll do a free gutter cleaning or a power wash of the skylights and stuff like that. I give extras, and that's how I make my clients very, very happy. So I think those extras, a lot of people are not looking for those things. And these are like coupons. Who doesn't like coupons? People, I mean, I really don't go for them at all, really. But I hear people go crazy over those things. But getting that deal, right, or just being treated like royalty, that's the way, that's the key. That's what's going to keep people coming in. So know your value. You guys should each individually not feel bad about asking for a raise or bettering your life, but I think that the problem is you have to know your value. So a lot of people don't know what their value is. You've been doing stuff, say, for 5-10 years. You've learned a lot of things. You have value. You just need to accept that, actually realize all the things that you know how to do, and realize this into that you have this very core value. You may just be good at it, but start moving and being great on it. Pull all your resources together. I just say this because I find it amazing when I ask people, what are your talents? What are the things you know how to do? Like, you know, and they're just like, oh, well, not much. You know, I've just been doing this. And I'm like, well, did you have to, sort out bills and like part out, receipts and stuff like that? Like, yeah, I'm like, it's almost accounting and organizing and things like that. There's a lot of proponents of stuff that just goes right over people's heads. The next, I want you guys to really know what your needs are. Your needs are, especially with inflation and all the fucking bullshit that's going on right now, I think that a lot of you should be getting paid right now. This is the last week of May 2021, by the way, and we have the inflation. We have a lot of shit happening right now. Prices of everything's already up, but people are still making the same amount of money, right? Your dollar is worth 80 cents right now, maybe, I'd say, safe to say, give or take, with all the crazy shit that's, for those people who say I'm full of shit on that number, actually metals in the construction industry went up by 45%. So what I'm saying, I know that inflation's only gone up around 10 to 12%, depending on where you're at, but the balance of goods, it's just out of whack. But you need to find out, you need to accept that what your needs are as well. Like if you're paying rent and stuff like that, you deserve that kind of stuff, but you need to know what your value is so that you have the confidence to go and look at your boss or whoever it is, your clients and all that, and ask for more money and give them the value. Know your value, give that equal value for value exchange. I think in life that everything needs to be fair, and no matter what it is, whether we're trading, whether we're for dollars, whether we're trading for labor, it should be an equal for value exchange. Both participants should walk away with equalness. And of course, we don't have a lot of that in this world. So it's up to you to take control of that and own that. Don't ever sell yourself short. Extend your education. Moving on. Extend your education always. I mean, that's what I said earlier is I started depending, I got cocky and let go on the internet, and I hired people to do it for me, and then I just kind of ignored it, right? So I wasn't finding out that Google's creeping up to become number one. And they're doing all kinds of extra things, and now the whole internet stuff has kind of changed, and it's screwed up the company that I'm working with. And now I got to go to a new company, and I didn't understand the game. So I had to continually start understanding, well, I got to post more pictures and do these extra things to get my business the exposure that it needs. The times have changed, so luckily I know a lot about that, and I'm good at it, but I'm not great. So getting in there, educating myself and figuring out, okay, some of the materials that are being offered by my competitors and things, I wasn't on top of that, so people would be telling me, I lost some work, and I'd ask them why, and like, oh, well, we're using this kind of stuff because it made sense, and I went, oh, I didn't even know that stuff existed. See, you got to constantly educate yourself, whether you're a business owner or you're a 9-to-5 worker. Find out about products. They're going, just an example, I'm not just talking about bartending, but what's the new drinks out there? What's all the stuff? Be ready so when someone asks for one of those new, popular things, you got the know-how how to make it, and you're right there, Johnny, on the spot. Okay, getting paid to learn too is a very big one. You got to realize, take a job, even like right now, if you're looking for work. I know this may not make sense to you guys, but it will for your future self. Go out there, get a job, and even if it's paying lower than what you're making right now, but you're going to your education is going to further because you're going to get paid to learn. Look at it that way. Yes, you're taking a cut in pay, but if you went and did management, let's just say for McDonald's or something like that, and you took a pay, you used to make 20, now you're making 15. That sucks. Go in there and murder that shit. Kill it, as they like to say. Go in there and manage the fuck out of that and just consume YouTube videos and books and stuff on how to manage and how to be really great. Guess what? Then quit that fucking job. Put your 2 weeks notice in. Don't be a dick. Go in and find something else, say manufacturing. I'm just making shit up here. Go into there and get into manufacturing, whatever it is, and just really kill it on manufacturing. You're going to say, well, if I go apply for a new job, the boss is probably going to look, at the company that I've skipped around. Tell them I skipped around because of this, right? I have 6 months in full-blown management, and here's what I've learned and know about management. I went to distribution, and I learned this, and that. I went there only for 6 months because the pay was low, and I got everything I could, and I got done, and I'm ready to move on to the next. And that's why I'm here, to make more money with all the skills that I have. And in fact, that's my resume. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to think if you're doing something you don't like. You can go from good to great on it. Just you're getting paid to learn. Don't stay there. Get what you need, and then move on to better shit. I think everybody should understand the basics of how a business functions. If you own a business, of course, you most likely, I hope you know how businesses function. But even if you're an employee, I think this is great because then it'll give you a bird's eye view of why maybe your boss is being a dick or had a bad day. And I'm not giving excuses why someone should take their day out on you, but you can become very valuable, right? You can understand about your colleagues, the people you work with, your management, the bosses, the distribution, all these kind of things. You can kind of, what I like about that is you can understand why people have to act the way they do, why maybe some people are very stressed out. And maybe that could tell you, hey, I don't want to move up this corporate ladder or up the ladder of this thing because those people look really fucking miserable. And I understand why, because everything's always changing. They always have to put out fires, and like their day is just not like, as easy as mine, where make some drinks, flip some burgers, whatever, and that's it. Get my paycheck, go home, take a bath, watch The Price is Right. So it gives you an idea of what you do want to do, maybe what you don't want to do. I think one of the most powerful things, though, is you get along with other people, but one of the most powerful things is that you can actually see where the business is going. And I think that what we're going to have in our coming future is a lot of businesses that are going to go down due to automation, and we're going to be talking about this. But if you understand the numbers, you understand about management, and you watch how that manager is managing this place, you can look and go, oh, yeah, with this bad management, nobody's happy. The numbers aren't matching up. We're not into full production because the employees are just being dogged on, right? Nobody's happy here. Unhappy employees and unhappy business equals, not very good production compared to when people are really happy and truly moving stuff. So that'll let you kind of know, give you an insight of like, hey, maybe I should stay working for this company, or maybe this company's going to go down. This is not looking good. This management is not doing a good job of keeping things going. If you understand the way a business goes, you'll know if you're going to be one of the people that are going to be fired, because you can put yourself in the other people's shoes. If I own this business and I had things started to go south, how would I get rid of people? Why? Who would I pick? What, where, why, and when? And that gives you a general idea of shit, I better up my game, or maybe I can make more money because I understand these things at another company. Then you can explain it just like that. Tell them why people are going to want to know, why do you expect to make this amount of money? And you can clearly tell them, well, from operations to management and things like that. By the way, I think your company is great. You guys are managing everything perfectly. From what I could see, the numbers and everything match up. That makes you a key person. Last thing here is diversity is key. I think in these changing times, we're eating up our 15 minutes, by the way, so I have to kind of hurry up here. We only do these shows for 15-minute segments. But I'll make it quick. Diversity is always king. I think with the changing times that we have right now, the only consistent thing in this world is that nothing is consistent. And I think that the things that I've shared with you guys here today, whether you own a business or you work for somebody, if you can start diversifying yourself to flow with the times, I mean, really, I think the big one's going to happen and I think it may take about another year or so for it to kind of come in. But once automation starts taking over a lot of jobs, there's a lot of stuff that's going to take very long time for them to develop the robots and technologies to take over stuff. So some stuff's going to last like a tail end, and you can bounce between these tail ends if you don't know what to do with yourself, if you don't know how to change with these times. So diversify yourself, your company, your business, diversify your employment, how can I say, your abilities to be employed by somebody. And I think that's the only thing I can give you for now, so I give this more thought. And a lot of shit sucks. I want to end with a story of a Russian who was in a prison. You see, I think it was, what's his name? Not Gorbachev. Fucking, it was Hitler and Stalin. Joseph Stalin's time. I think he killed more of his own people, the Russian people, than World War II and Civil War combined, they say. He killed a lot more people than Hitler, man. But anyways, there was an old man who was a survivor and was interviewed, and they says, well, how did you survive the camps? You know, and what they do is they barely feed these people enough to keep them alive, and they make them break rocks, like chisel rocks all day. I don't know for what. But this old man said that he tricked himself into just loving breaking rocks. And he was there so long. You know, when he woke up in the morning, he was like, I can't wait to go break rocks. I'm going to break them a certain way. He knew when the new people came in which ones were going to die and which ones were going to survive just by the looks of these people, because we've seen so many, and it's just the people's will to survive. So I kind of look at this like a lot of things that we don't like to do, not necessarily trick yourself like into just loving it, but to start looking at where this could lead you to, I guess. I had a really, I don't know, this story, I'm doing so much. I don't expect people to work as much as I do. I actually love a lot about what I'm doing, but the stuff that I really, really hate, really despise, yes, I use the H word, hate. I hate it, man. But the money, and what I do is I think about, like that old man, of what I'm able to do for my family. Can I go on these mini retirements again this year? Am I going to take off for 3 months? You know, am I just going to sit off for 3-4 months this year, go travel with my kids, come back home and just maybe do enhance my podcast show and do what I want, maybe grow some more of my own food? And I look at those things and say, well, that's why you're doing what you're doing. I guess if you have a goal in mind, but even like this old man who knew that I might not ever get out of here, you may need to do that for the time being to get yourself through these hard times, which isn't even that hard. We've had harder times, guys. But learn from this story. And guys, there's so much possibility and so much open possibilities out there. I don't know, that's all I can say right now. The shows, that's it. If you guys like this sort of thing, please comment, please subscribe. If I brought you any value, thumbs up, thumbs down, tell a friend, pass the word around. This is the Up and In It Show. You can get a hold of me on upandinit at gmail.com, upandinitshow@gmail.com. You can also check out the website at upandinit.com. You can find Up and In It on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere where the Spotify and Apple iTunes. As I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it, my friends.